Most people are waiting to feel ready. The top 1% already left while you were waiting. Okay, real talk for a second. We've all had that moment, you know the one, where you're lying in bed, fully aware of what you should be doing, and you just don't. You tell yourself tomorrow. You tell yourself you're tired. You tell yourself the conditions aren't right. And here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say out loud. That moment, that exact moment, that's where your life is being decided. Because the people performing at the top, they feel that same pull, the same resistance, the same voice telling them to wait. They just don't listen to it. So let's talk about what they actually do differently. And I promise, it's not what you think. Point 1. They subtract before they add. Can I be honest with you about something? Because this one personally took me way too long to understand. We've been sold this idea that being disciplined means doing more. More habits, more routines, more systems. Stack everything, optimize everything. And that's just wrong. The most disciplined people I've ever studied, they're not adding things, they're cutting ruthlessly. They're looking at their week and asking, what on here is just noise pretending to be progress? Because a packed calendar isn't ambition. A lot of the time it's just avoidance wearing a suit. Real discipline starts with a blank page, not a full one. Point 2. They protect their first 90 minutes. Genuinely, what did you do this morning within the first 5 minutes of waking up? Because if you reached for your phone, you handed control of your mind to someone else before you even had a chance to think your own thoughts. And I say that with zero judgment because most of us do it. I've done it, but let's call it what it is. The top 1% treat their mornings like they're sacred. The first 90 minutes are theirs. No news, no notifications, no one else's urgency bleeding into their headspace. They move, they think, they set the tone for the day from the inside out. Mornings aren't a warm-up. They're actually the most important 90 minutes you have. And most people sleep through them, not literally, but mentally. Point 3. They show up every single day. This is the one that separates the people who almost made it from the people who actually did. They showed up every day, not every good day, every day. And I want to be clear, this doesn't mean they gave 100% every day. We'll actually talk about what that looks like in a minute, and it might surprise you. But they showed up because they understood something really simple. You don't have to feel like it, you just have to do it. Feelings are weather, they change. Showing up is a decision, and that decision, made enough times, becomes a character trait. And your character, that's the thing that actually determines where your life goes. Point 4. They say no more than yes. Saying yes feels good. It feels generous. It feels like you're doing a lot. But every yes to the extra meeting, to the favor, to the thing that won't take long, is a quiet no to the thing that actually matters. The top 1% protect their focus like it's a non-renewable resource, because it is. They're not cold, they're not selfish, they've just done the math, and the math is clear. A scattered person never becomes a sharp one. If you're saying yes to everything, you're not being productive, you're just being busy. And busy is the most socially acceptable form of avoiding the real work. Point 5. The 5% rule of discipline. Now, let me show you something that nobody talks about. This is what a disciplined week actually looks like for the people at the top. Monday, 100%. Tuesday, 80%. Wednesday, 5%. Thursday, 20%. Friday, 70%. Saturday, 95%. And Sunday, 12%. Wednesday at 5%. Thursday at 20%. They still showed up. That's it. That's the whole secret. Discipline isn't a perfect streak. It's not a highlight reel. It's the decision to not disappear when things feel impossible. The 5% day still counts. It still moves the needle. And it tells your brain, we don't quit here. If something in this video hit a nerve, That feeling is worth paying attention to. That's not discomfort, that's clarity. Here's what I want you to do right now before you click away. Write down one thing you've been waiting to start. Not a plan, not a whole system, just the one thing. And then start before you're ready. If this resonated with you, drop discipline in the comments. I want to know who's actually showing up this week, even on their 5% days. Because the top 1% started exactly where you are. The only difference is they didn't wait. Subscribe Larayon, and I'll see you in the next one.